जरा ग्लैमर बढ़ाओ।
बट सर द फिल्म इज अबाउट लाइफ के उतार चढ़ाव।
अरे भाई जब कुछ दिखाओगे नहीं तो क्या घंटा कमाओगे?
बिल्कुल कमाओगे, तुम भी फिल्म बनाओगे। वक्त जाएगा बदल। बाप को, दादा को, भाई को, सबको फिल्म मेकर बनाएगा तेरा। Make your dream film a reality. Just download the MContent platform. Submit a pitch, get complete funding and mentorship. As a content creator, when you upload your video, you can start earning from your very first view in MContent digital currency, which has potential to increase in value over time. Download the world's first watch to earn platform now.
The rear view mirror is such a beautiful thing. It takes you back to where it all started. The passion, the energy, the drive, the potential to change this world. It all falls into place if you have the right mentor, the right platform, the right facilitator. Someone who could nurture your talent, provide you funding when you need it, and give you a global audience. I wasn't this lucky in my content creation journey, but if you're a content creator or filmmaker who wants to fast track your journey, just download the MContent platform. You can actually get funding for your dream project and get this, start earning from your very first view. You earn in MContent digital currency, which has the potential to increase in value over time. The future of content is already here. Download the MContent app now.
सलाम नमस्ते केम छो सत श्री अकाल। क्या बताऊं भाई फिल्म मेकरों का हाल। रहते हैं फिल्म बनाने को ये पैशनेट, प्रोड्यूसर्स ने किया है बड़ा फ्रस्ट्रेट।
और फिर हीरो विलन का सारा सोना लेके शिप में जा रहा है। विलन उसकी शिप पे मिसाइल की बारिश कर देता है। डूबते हुए हीरो का ग्लोरियस स्लोमो, ऑडियंस की आंखों में आंसू। तभी स्क्रीन पे लिखा आता है WTF2 कमिंग सून।
पापा हीरो का रोल मैं करूंगा।
बट सर स्क्रिप्ट की डिमांड कैसे पूरी करूंगा?
जब तक इस देश में सिनेमा है ये फिल्म प्रोड्यूस नहीं करेगा।
ये निर्देशकों का, लेखकों का फेट, कहानी हाथ में लिए कर रहे हैं वेट।
कहानी में दम है लेकिन प्रॉफिट थोड़ा कम है।
सर एक बार फिल्म बन जाए सब हो जाएगा।
ना बेटा हमसे ना हो पाएगा।
कॉम्बो अजीब है स्टोरी और सॉरी का। स्क्रिप्ट को प्रमोटरों से कौन बचाएगा?
बॉस जरा ग्लैमर बढ़ाओ।
बट सर द फिल्म इज अबाउट लाइफ के उतार चढ़ाव।
अरे भाई जब कुछ दिखाओगे नहीं तो क्या घंटा कमाओगे?
बिल्कुल कमाओगे, तुम भी फिल्म बनाओगे। वक्त जाएगा बदल। बाप को, दादा को, भाई को, सबको फिल्म मेकर बनाएगा तेरा। Make your dream film a reality. Just download the MContent platform. Submit a pitch, get complete funding and mentorship. As a content creator, when you upload your video, you can start earning from your very first view in MContent digital currency, which has potential to increase in value over time. Download the world's first watch to earn platform now.
The rear view mirror is such a beautiful thing. It takes you back to where it all started. The passion, the energy, the drive, the potential to change this world. It all falls into place if you have the right mentor, the right platform, the right facilitator. Someone who could nurture your talent, provide you funding when you need it, and give you a global audience. I wasn't this lucky in my content creation journey, but if you're a content creator or filmmaker who wants to fast track your journey, just download the MContent platform. You can actually get funding for your dream project and get this, start earning from your very first view. You earn in MContent digital currency, which has the potential to increase in value over time. The future of content is already here. Download the MContent app now.
Hey guys, welcome to the MContent AMA. I'm Ryan, I'm here with Umair, as you guys know. This is our AMA for our community burn event, which we have a lot to talk about.
Hi everyone, how are you guys doing? What's happening? I just opened my YouTube because I like to see the comments.
Yeah, I do too, yeah.
Yeah, so while Ryan is giving you an introduction, I'm just gonna look at the comments and see how many people are tuning in.
If you guys are new here, we are MContent. We fund content creators and filmmakers by way of blockchain. We have the world's first watch to earn platform. If you haven't checked it out, go to your favorite app store, download it, search MContent. It's made vast improvements. We just got an update, which we will talk about during this AMA as well. Our platform is also web-based, MContent.net. You can check it out there. We also have the world's first cinema within the metaverse. We call the Cineverse, which is pretty amazing, and we have big plans with that also. So if you guys have further questions, check out Telegram, check out our white paper.
Yeah, ask us all the questions you have on YouTube. We're live right now for you. And someone commented here, which is like, let's get this party started. Let's go burn like the Ring of Fire. So I think, yeah, burn, and by the way, burn is a great term, huh?
Yeah.
Because burn has a double meaning here, because you're burning your tokens. But when you do that, I feel that when you don't do that, you also burn inside, right? Yeah. I felt that, when I burned my tokens just now, I felt that burn. So, but as they say, I think no pain, no gain, right?
Yep.
So you have to go through sacrifices and pain in order to get to your dreams and to achieve what you want to achieve. So yes, no pain, no gain. But I think amazing response so far, what we've had. And while we're gonna give you another 48 hours to all community members to complete their burn and to qualify for some of the amazing incentives that we are planning, we have already, I think, seen the burn wallet. If you can go to BSC scan right now, we just checked. We had, before we started this burn season, 39% of our supply was sitting in the burn wallet. And right now, as we speak, almost 41% of the supply is sitting in the burn wallet. What this essentially means is that almost close to 180 trillion tokens have been burned, which is phenomenal and incredible.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. I think that's what you need. That's what you live for. That's like a dream, having a community that believes in you and the team and follows this dream like us. Because I think this is critical. It's a great opportunity, as I've said earlier as well. The price being low is actually an opportunity for us to reduce our supply, right? Because the sacrifice right now is smaller. The sacrifice that we're making right now, if today I have burnt a certain amount of tokens, in terms of my dollar value of the sacrifice right now, it's smaller, right? Compared to how it was 3 months ago. If I would have decided to burn the same amount of token, I would have had to burn a lot more in terms of dollar value.
Right.
It would have been more difficult for me, right? And that's how it works, and that's why I feel this is a great opportunity for all of us to burn and contribute towards the reduction of the supply. Just to give you a breakup, you must understand that we've also done the company burn. Around 14 trillion tokens have been burned by the company, which is the earn and burn, which is the organic process that we follow, which is the fundamental of our ecosystem, whereby we generate revenues from our content, and then those revenues are put back into the ecosystem by buying and burning tokens. In the past, we've also done that. The first buy and burn that we did, which was shared a few months ago, and now we've done another buy and burn. You guys do understand that right now our content revenues are very thin, because at the end of the day, most of the content is either in production or it's not at a stage where it starts getting syndicated or licensed or traded or streamed on our platform. And even on the platform right now, we don't have any advertising revenue, we don't have any freemium revenue, which is going to start rolling in the future, and more revenues are going to come in. The more revenues come in, the more we're able to buy and burn. However, what we have done as individuals, as institutional investors, as the core team members, is that until that happens, we have shown our commitment to the project by burning our own personal holdings, which were bought by us over a period of time. And I think it's a phenomenal number that we've achieved with the support of the community. As I said, now we're sitting at almost 41% of our supply being in the Burn wallet, which is great. Before we started, we were at 39%. This is huge progress for a very short period of time, and we still have 48 hours to go. So I'm really excited. The message that I also gave in the video, which all of you should know, is that yes, sometimes a lot of you are thinking that I'm the only one probably who are burning, or I'm amongst the 40% who are burning, or I'm amongst the 50% of the people who are burning. What about the remaining 50% who are not burning, right? And obviously this thought is completely natural. It makes a lot of sense. A lot of people are thinking like that, I know. And that's why we're creating a strategic program, details of which we're not sharing right now, but we have plans towards the end of the year to launch something really big, which is a strategic project of ours. And in that, our plan is to incentivize all of you who are burning your tokens right now, and the ones who've participated in the first community burn, and the ones who've participated wholeheartedly will get a huge benefit in that initiative that I'm talking about. And we'll make sure that the incentive that you're actually getting will be based on a pro rata of the amount of tokens and the US dollar contribution that you're making to the burn wallet at this point in time. So consider this as an investment into the future. It's not just a sacrifice that we're asking you to make, but it's also an investment into the future, because we will make sure that the ones who are making the sacrifice are the ones who are actually rewarded more than the ones who are not making the sacrifice. And we will make sure that the ones who are not participating for any reason, they will actually look back and look at today, and they will think one day, very soon, they will actually think that they should have participated. And it doesn't mean that we don't love them. It doesn't mean that we don't respect them. It's an individual decision. Obviously, we can't force anyone to burn their tokens, and everyone is part of the community. Everyone is equal. But yes, the ones who are going out of their way right now, like the core team members, are the ones who will be rewarded, who will be really rewarded, and you'll see that happening. So, as they say, if you put your faith in someone, if you put your faith in this community, in this project, then give us your complete faith, right? Give us your complete trust. If the team here feels that this community burn is essential and everyone needs to participate, and you have to go out, you have to go out of your comfort zone, you have to make that sacrifice. And then it is our responsibility to make sure that the ones who are making this sacrifice are the ones who get rewarded the most, right? Which we will do, right, Ryan?
Right. And there were people even in the community today that bought extra just to burn.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So we are tracking all of that, and we are tracking every wallet that is participating in this community burn, and even to the people who are participating in the community burn using their centralized exchange wallets. Our message to them is to make sure, because on the centralized exchange, sometimes the transfer into the dead wallet are being done directly through the hot wallet. So what you need to do, if you're doing it through your MetaMask or Trust wallet, don't worry, we have the record. But if you're doing the burn through a centralized exchange, which is your Bitmart or Huobi Global or BKX or Big One wallet, make sure you send us a screenshot along with the amount. You send that information to the moderators, and the moderators need to make sure that it all comes to one of our core team members who is managing the sheet. His name is Kay, you all know him. So make sure that Kay gets all the information if you are doing the burn from your centralized exchange wallet, so that we can mark each of those wallets against the contribution that they've done to the burn, and they will also be rewarded accordingly in the future. Whereas if you're doing it from Trust or MetaMask, then you don't need to worry because we have all the data. Also, one of the more important things here to understand, and I would also want your comments on this, Rand, is that I just noted, which made me really happy, by the way, that I realized that when we send our tokens to the burn wallet, right, all the tokens are not going in, right?
Right. That's a good point.
Which means that because of how our smart contract is structured, almost 10 to 12% is being lost, right?
Yeah.
And that 10 to 12% that is being lost is also going away, right? Because it's going into the liquidity and the redistribution. So, which basically means that our supply is also reducing, and that is not reflecting, by the way, in the percentage. So if it's 41%, so consider this, if there's 41% showing in the burn wallet, then there's probably, if you add 12% to that, that's probably 46%. So essentially, we've actually burned 46% of our supply till now, because that tax that is coming on top of the transfer is not being shown, but it's also going away. The person who's sending those tokens does not have them anymore. And I believe that the same also applies on the transfers that are happening from one wallet to the other, right?
Yeah.
So again, this is an important point of consideration for all of us. We probably didn't realize, but this essentially means that maybe, as a calculation, we don't have the exact number, but maybe we can assume that almost 50% of the supply is already lost.
Yeah.
So 50% of the total supply essentially is already lost if you consider the fact that 12% is also applying on the transfers to the burn wallet,
Right.
which is not reflecting in the burn wallet.
Right. Yeah.
And I've seen it, I've tested it myself, that the amount that we're sending versus the amount that is being received is actually different, right? So that's great news.
Yeah.
So which actually means that while BSC scan is showing a 41%, we've essentially burned or lost a lot of these tokens, right?
Right.
So yes, our supply is reducing massively. And probably the numbers that you see in terms of the circulating supply are not even reflective of the supply that's left. So that's great news. What do you want to say on that?
I just think it's amazing. My mind went to how much extra content are we able to fund from that transaction tax just from today. In the future, it's going to be huge, just based off the taxes and what goes into the CCF. I think it's amazing with growth,
Cool. So shall we start taking some questions?
Yeah, sure.
What do you guys think? Okay. Let's see.
Can you allow burn from MContent app? Are we allowed to talk about the app anymore?
Sure.
Yeah. If you guys didn't see on our socials, we just had an update. Okata OK just said 45.92% burned. We just had a meeting with the MContent wallet that you guys have been asking for every AMA, every Twitter space. We have a date set for when that's out. We announced that?
Sorry?
Have we announced when the wallet comes out?
Yeah, sure. It's already announced,
The
right?
20th, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I just like to make sure because I don't like to...
Yeah.
Okay. So on the 20th, you guys will have an update to your app. The MContent wallet will be there. We were shown it yesterday or the day before, and it runs very smooth. It's going to have MContent to BNB swap. It'll show your tokens you've earned from the app. We gave a lot of feedback with that. It's going to be a new wallet. You'll have a new seed phrase. Like I said, you'll be able to have the swap function. In this current version, you'll ask for your tokens to be released. Within 1 to 3 days, they'll automatically come to your wallet. Right now, we're having to do this manually to make sure that there's no scammy way of earning tokens on the platform. We're making sure that those people that aren't doing things correctly and honestly aren't rewarded. But in the next version, we will have an API, something set up to where it happens automatically, so it's not done manually. And to your point about the burn function from the app, that is on the way as well. So whatever you earn from the app, you can send to the burn wallet straight from there, which I think is pretty amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm just looking at BSC scan right now. Cool, someone just sent more tokens into the burn wallet. That is amazing. Wow. Someone just sent almost 200 billion tokens.
Nice.
Amazing. See, this is the spirit. This is essentially the spirit that we need. My belief in life is, I don't know how many of you resonate with that, but my belief in life is that if you go into something, you go all out, right? So either you don't, or if you go into something, you go all out. And this is a legacy that we're creating here. This is not my legacy. This is not Ryan's legacy. This is not the team's legacy. This is a legacy for the entire community, right? And if we can achieve our dream of creating a truly decentralized content economy, if we are one of the key contributors to this disruption, this is a credit that is going to go to all of you. Each of you as community members will be equally recognized as any of us, because MContent is not a project which is owned by an individual or an institution or certain team members. MContent is a project that is owned by each and every one of you, and it's all about the community. It's the community, and I think we had a very interesting session with one of our mentors today, and what he said essentially is extremely important. That this is a boat where we're all headed to victory, but there's none of us is going to jump off the boat, right? So it has to be all of us. When we get to that island of victory, it has to be all of us together, right? We need to make sure that we keep this boat as sustainable as possible. We keep building as we move, and we have to get to the shore together, right? It's not about one individual. It's not about one institution. It's not about one entity. It's not about the people who are working here in this office space and the pie. It's about everyone. It's about everyone who follows the MContent flag, who holds the MContent flag, who carries it. And all of you are equal members, equal owners into this project. And tomorrow, all of you will go down. If we make it successful, which we will, all of you will go down in history. And in order to go down in history, you have to make sacrifices. And I think there's so many people who understand. That is why we've seen this phenomenal burn, considering that majority of this burn is coming from individuals like myself and from the community. I think it's truly incredible. And I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing. I just keep thinking, like, imagine telling people in a few years' time that you were invested early in MContent. I think it's something really cool, especially with the idea we have where this project's headed. The crypto market, the token price doesn't bother us with our work ethic. We will keep working on this project. We'll keep building because we believe in the long-term vision and goal. And I'm personally happy to have such a educated, super positive community. So from me also, thank you guys.
I think we should take a few people to comment, because I've seen a few of the community members who actually committed burning 100% of their tokens, right? And I would really want to hear from them, maybe on chat. If you guys can comment, I would love to hear what your emotion is, and I will read it out right now in front of everyone. But if you can, Crypto Minnow, I know I read your messages that you committed to 100% of your tokens being burned, and then you're going to buy back. By the way, for people who don't know this individual, he's the same guy who has been traveling across Europe in different film festivals carrying the MContent flag, and he's someone that we absolutely love and look up to. So please, on the chat right now, if you can just comment why you chose to take that decision of burning 100% of your tokens. I would like to read out your emotions and your passion towards the project, so everyone hears us right now. Well, I for one burned them all.
I bet he's typing something else. Thanks for the shout out, Umair. He said, hi, Umair and Ryan. Off topic for a moment. Are you guys happy with the way the current ongoing productions are going? And do you feel that you're going to be able to sell them to streaming platforms?
Yes, so we are already successfully selling them to streaming platforms, but obviously, see, again, one thing that you guys need to know is that yes, we are the ones who came up with this disruption and we believe in the power of this idea, but we're not really, the experts when it comes to production. We had to hire the experts, we had to get the best production houses on board, give these projects to them. In parallel, we're also doing some content acquisition deals that we've been working on. But in terms of the timing, our estimation was actually completely different to what turned out, because we felt that we'll be able to complete these projects in a matter of 5 to 6 months initially. But when you actually get into production is where you realize that it's very challenging, it's very complicated, and some of these projects stretch on for years. And now we also understand the reasons why they stretch on for years, right? So yes, based on our original schedules, there might be some delays, but that doesn't mean we're not satisfied, because as long as we're delivering on the quality is the most essential thing, right? And regardless of the fact that a project that we initially budgeted for to be completed in 6 months is now taking a year, doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, as long as the quality is delivered, there will be a buyer out there. As long as the quality is delivered, there will be a viewer out there. And as long as the quality is delivered, there will be a licensee out there, which means that we will generate those revenues, whether it is syndication revenue or licensing revenue or trading revenue, or whether it is streaming revenue on our platform, right? So yes, pretty much satisfied with how everything is going. And yes, I do feel that we are, and probably in one of the next AMAs that we're going to do, we will talk to you about a more strategic matter, whereby I will tell you the next 1 year strategy, where we make a presentation to all of you. And because this is a community driven project, this is not run by one individual, so we'll actually share the entire strategic direction with you, what the company is going to do in the next 1 to 3 years, what our overall strategy is. We'll present it completely to you, just like, so you will be, in a way, you guys will be attending a virtual board meeting where, the person who's running the company right now is going to present the entire plan. And in that plan, you will see that we're making some changes to our existing plan, because in our existing strategy, we had a lot of focus on producing original content, which is still there. We will still produce original content. We'll also do seeds, MCs, and all of that. But we do realize that one thing that's happening, which is a learning for us, is that people, when they land onto the platform, there is two things that is very important. When you acquire a user, you spend money in getting them onto the platform. These are crypto users, right? Which means that by getting them on, you increase your holder base, you increase your traction. When you increase your traction, the price goes up. But their first experience is extremely critical. So what's happening right now is, because we are producing all the content that is in the pipeline, and even the ones that are in the pipeline are not as many. So when people land onto the platform, they don't have enough options to consume from. Right? Enough quality options to consume from. Similarly, there are some issues with the experience and the scalability, performance of the platform. So in parallel, over the next 3 months in our strategy, which I'll share with you guys when we do the presentation, is that we're working on two essential things, which is our area of focus. One is upgrading the platform to make it the next gen streaming platform, watch to earn streaming platform, which means that in the next 3 months, we are engaging with one of the top tech firms, global tech firms, and they are going to help us upgrade this platform to an all new level, which is going to resolve all the issues, which is going to bring in all the missing features, which is going to bring in the scalability. They're going to do a re-architecture for us. The same platform will become so much more scalable that we can have millions of concurrent viewers without decreasing the speed. So that is a 3-month exercise that we've already signed up with them, which is happening in parallel. At the same time, in this 3-month period, we will get towards acquisition of content, because while we're producing content, yes, but the productions are taking months and months and years, right? So now when we scale up the platform, we start our marketing campaign, people land on the platform. The platform is brilliant, but there's not enough content, right? So there's a missing trick. So now we need to make sure that we also acquire quality content, which is available. We license quality content, we bring it onto the platform. Until such time that our own original productions are streaming in, there's a funnel that is being created in parallel. But until that happens, we need to have enough content, right? So this is our primarily, I've told you the short-term strategy. In the next 3 months, we're going to focus a lot, A, on upgrading the tech platform, B, on acquiring a lot of content, quality content, not content that has been seen, at hundreds of places, exclusive quality content. We're going into a structured acquisition approach. So in 3 months, hopefully, we will see that the platform is going to be amazing. The architecture of the platform is going to be revamped. I think the UI of the platform and the structure is already brilliant. The idea is brilliant, but it needs more scalability. It needs more finesse. It needs a better user experience, which is the thing that we've already contracted to one of the top suppliers, as I said. In parallel, in the next 3 months, we are going to acquire a lot of quality content. We're going to acquire a lot of quality creators globally, because we need to have also on mBrowse. So there's 2 elements of our platform. One is mPlay, which is where we have the originals and the seeds, and we have all the acquired content, which is mostly premium content. The second section is mBrowse. We also need to populate mBrowse as well. We thank all of you for all the videos that you guys keep uploading. Now we've got like more than 30,000 videos, which is phenomenal. But yes, the quality we feel is still not there, which means that we need to get thousands of top creators. So the next 3 months are all about getting the platform up to scale, getting quality content acquisitions in terms of premium content, and getting huge creators onto the platform, right? This is where our focus is next 3 to 4 months, and you will see major growth happening, as soon as we are able to tick all of these 3 boxes. Then we will start some really aggressive marketing campaigns, bringing more users so that the users are rated. One of the issues we're having right now is we started some really aggressive marketing campaigns, and we started getting lots of users. We've now had almost 700,000 registered users by them. But the rate of uninstall was really high. And again, see, we are a community. I'm not someone who's going to hide things from you. We're going to be transparent. This is our company. We build it together. So I'll also tell you about the weakness, right? So our weakness was that while we were getting lots of downloads, there were lots of uninstalls as well, right? Because people were not getting the right experience and the right content. So next 3 to 4 months, we have decided that we're going to fix that. We're going to fundamentally enhance our platform. We're going to bring in the right content, and we're going to bring in the right creator content. All 3 categories, we fix that, and then you'll see the growth in every aspect, which is going to start coming into the ecosystem. That's where we are. This doesn't mean that our productions are going to stop. Our productions are also happening, but we need to speed up our growth. For that, we need to also acquire some content in the short term, and which is where our change in strategy is happening. But as I said, we'll also be making a detailed presentation to you sometime in the coming weeks, just to present the overall strategy. And as I said, you guys are part of the community. You guys are part of the company. You're just, like any of us, you're an owner in the company in a way. And we need to make sure that you're informed about everything that is happening on the strategic side. So yeah, a very long answer for Crypto Minnow, but I think I did answer your question.
I see someone asking, are you able to say what kind of content is in production? Maybe they're new to the community.
What kind of?
What kind of content is in production?
So, I think we already have, different formats. We have scripted, we have unscripted. You've seen the announcement about a game show that we're starting, which is a reality show. There are actually 2 reality shows right now that we're working on. Both of them are global scale. I've told you guys there is a Hollywood project as well that we're working on, which is more of a feature film. We have documentary films. We have a season which is now in its final production, which is called The Blockchain Live. We've shot almost 5 or 6 episodes now. I think the last episode is being stitched, and somewhere in July is where the season will be completed. We have also started another amazing season. It's called Web3 Wonderlands, which is about some key individuals within the Web3 space who have really disrupted this space, who people look up to, and we're going to go to these individuals and talk about their personal life, how their personal lives are. Again, it's an amazing season that we're building. So that we've started, and that's in production at the moment. It's already kicked off. Then, as you know, we have Alex. And again, animated cartoon series are the most difficult to produce in the sense that they are the highest they take the highest amount of time in production. Every frame requires days and days of efforts. It's very easy to say that, we're making Alex got wrecked, but it's actually really challenging in terms of how time consuming it is. So that's in production. And then obviously we have some seed projects that we've recently finalized. We are going into some short films in India, for which we partnered up with Anurag Kashyap. There's 4 short films that we're funding in India with 4 young creators who are going to be mentored by Anurag Kashyap. That's also happening in parallel. And there's a lot. Honestly, we are looking at acquisitions, we're looking at productions. So there is a lot happening on the content side. And as I said, right now we will focus more on acquisitions as well, because we've been focusing too much on production, which means that our time to market is being delayed because we don't have enough quality content on the platform. So we will go ahead and we'll acquire a lot of content so that we can start getting the users into the watch to earn ecosystem. At the same time, we will keep producing the content that we have funded ourselves, right? So that's where we are. What are the other questions?
Let's look.
Okay.
There were some questions previously.
Go up.
Thanks for the response. Last thing for me, sorry for being annoying. Do you guys work on a brand book? Because when I watch an M original, I see a lot of different specs, graphics. Yes. So there is right now. We have a top. We have top quality brand consultant right now that is working with the team. Some of you might have seen her also in some of the snaps that you see going around of our office. There's a lot of workshops that are right now happening. And we are reconsidering some element of rebranding just to elevate the brand, and at the same time we're also working on the entire brand architecture and the brand book and the brand philosophy document. So you will see, this concern of yours will be resolved really soon, and I appreciate and I agree with the fact that now to the level where we're headed, a brand like ours needs more consistency. We've already started doing it a bit. If you look at, for example, our Instagram wall right now, you will see some sort of consistency, which was not there a month ago. So we're already moving in that direction, that every asset that gets published by the company across platforms, across socials, will have a consistent look and feel. But I think there's a lot of room for improvement still, and we're working on it in terms of packaging our content, in terms of packaging our platforms, different elements of our social media. So you will see more consistency going forward, yes, and we are right now undergoing complete branding strategy as we speak.
I see how to upload bulk videos. If you have a large amount of content that needs to go on the app, I would recommend sending Zuhair an email and having it worked out with him. That's zuhair@mcontent.net. He'll help you upload it to the platform directly.
So the back end, there are 2 elements of any development that happens. There's always a front end and there's a back end, right? So on the back end, there's a lot that is being done right now, and we are working on creating the user journey better, which is one of the reasons why we're hiring the new tech company to come in and help us over the next 3 months. But we're also trying to elevate the user journey from a creator's perspective, because the creator wants to upload a lot of content in bulk. So that's one of the key considerations here, because if we go into the aggressive creator acquisition, we need that back-end functionality where they can just have an access to a back-end tool where they can upload thousands and thousands of videos or hundreds of videos in parallel, in bulk, and that is something that the team is already looking at. But as Ryan said, I think Zuhair will be able to give you an exact update on how we're looking at things at the moment.
Are you in contact with the music groups, band managers? It would be so great to watch original music videos here.
Yeah, it is. I think one of the considerations that we have right now is to support all sorts of audiovisual content creator, and music videos are one of them. We've had some interesting sessions with a few musicians, people who want their videos done, and all of that obviously is in the pipeline. However, you guys need to also understand that the strategy of any organization evolves, right? So I'm sure, I don't need to tell you, but you know that the market right now is down, which means that there is very limited experimentation that we can do right now. So we need to have, for the next 3 to 6 months, we need to have a very focused strategy. We cannot be everywhere. We cannot do everything at the same time. While I love music and I know there's a huge scope for music out there, but we need to have a focused strategy. And as I said, right now our focus strategy is to make sure that we have enough quality consumable content, the available content or the acquired content coming in, because producing something is very expensive, remember, right? And in a bear market, it's all about creating a more sustainable strategy. Rather than going and producing everything, funding everything, we now need to be focused. Yes, we produce and fund, but we produce and fund limited stuff. We acquire quality creator content, we acquire quality content from out there so that we have enough to show on our platform and we can start acquiring more users, bringing more traction. So that's our strategy, right? This is not the time to be going around doing everything and spending your cash, because organizations that do that don't have a clear focus strategy in difficult, challenging times are going to lose, right? And that's why we're being very selective and focused for the next 3 to 4 months at least. And then we'll see where things evolve. But yes, in the long run, music is one of the areas that we really want to focus on.
It's amazing. Jiggy, what's up, man? Amazing energy from the community. Couldn't have asked for a better community. Crypto Minnow again.
Okay, Crypto Minnow is saying, answering your question, I love everything about MContent. I had never heard of it before Feb and was blown away by the concept. This can't fail. You all feel like that about it? That's amazing, actually. That's great to know, because if you're saying Feb, which means that you came around the time when we were at our peak, I think that's the time. Right? So, which is great, because some of the most committed community members are ones naturally that have been with us from day one.
Right.
But it's great to know that you're one of the standouts and you've only been here for 5 months. This really gives me a lot of positivity. That's great. Crypto T commented, love the energy here. For sure. Same here. Is there anyone else who has committed 100% burn? I really want to talk to people who have decided to burn 100% of their tokens. What do they feel? How did they come up with this conclusion of taking that decision? I really want to understand that emotion and that motivation. So, because I saw a few comments, a lot of the people said we're burning 100%. Is there anyone else who's burning 100%? I want to listen to you and your
yeah.
That's what we today. That's what we want to focus on, and not answer all the other questions, because as I said, we'll have a detailed session on the overall business strategy separately. Today it's all about the burn. So who else is burning all of their tokens and why?
Yeah, it's very interesting. I see, please have a short video feature, like at least 14 seconds, a max of 1 minute. We've talked about this on AMA before. That's in the works. We think that's also important and gets a lot of people using the app.
Okay, who else?
Crypto T, whenever I hear everyone worried out in crypto about their project, it's not because of this team and their clarity on direction. Crypto T, we appreciate you being here. I enjoy you being in the Twitter spaces as well. So thank you for that.
Okay, you are a great team. That's awesome. Freshness platform. Listings are also important. Lots of Indian people waiting for buy on exchanges. I'll give an answer to that. I know Craig commented, which is also true, but really this is, in my opinion, this is not the time to list on more exchanges because the market is not supportive of that investment. I know it's very easy for the investors to say list on the big exchanges, and right now we have offers from some of the biggest exchanges. I won't take names, but some of the biggest exchanges are now approaching us since we listed on Huobi. When you list on a top 5 or top 10 exchange, just to give you an idea, I know you guys don't understand this, so let me give you more clarity, because you are part of the community now. You need to understand how this business works. Listing on a top 10 exchange today costs roughly $1 million, right? If you include the listing fees, if you include the liquidity requirements, the market making requirements that go into the initial marketing campaign that goes in on listing on a big exchange. On the minimum side, you need $1 million per exchange, right? Now, I will ask you this question. We listed on Hubi, which was a huge achievement for a project like ours. As you know, it's one of the most historic exchanges. It's been, at one time, it was the largest exchange in the world. A couple of years ago, we listed on there, which is great. But because of the market condition, because of how the market has been depleting over the past 4 months now, we didn't really get the benefit out of it, right? And it's pretty evident in terms of the trade volumes, in terms of the price traction. So now this is your company, right? So MContent is you. You are MContent. Now I ask you, in this market, if another exchange wants to list us, do you think it's a worthwhile investment? Do you think it's a worthwhile investment to spend another $1 million on listing on another exchange? No, now is not the time. We need to be patient. We need to wait. We need to wait for a clear bull market, because right now the market is still, somewhere in the middle. You never know whether Bitcoin is going to take a big rebound, because at the end of the day, the industry is driven by the Bitcoin benchmark, and all the altcoins will always follow the trend that Bitcoin is taking. So it's still very uncertain right now, the market, and the overall trend is not clear, which means that listing on a new exchange, paying another $1 million for a listing which we don't know if it's going to benefit us right now, doesn't make financial sense. If you think it makes financial sense, please tell me, because this is also as I said, this is your company, MContent is your company. So we need to make right decisions. We don't have to take emotional decisions. Companies that make emotional decisions, they fail. They fail to deliver, they fail to sustain, right? We need to sustain. This could be an extended bear market as well. I'll tell you one of the really interesting things, by the way, is, and this is what motivates me, every morning when I wake up in a bear market like this, the thing that motivates me is a stat, a very simple stat. In 2017, there were 1,200 registered cryptocurrencies. There were more, but there were 1,200 that were listed on CMC, that had the basic requirements, docs teams, etc., etc. They were established projects, 1,200 of them. I'm not even considering the others, because most of them were like scams. So in 2017, there were 1,200 cryptocurrencies, right? In 2018, the great crypto crash came in, right, which we call the crypto winter. In the first year, out of those 1,200, 800 companies were shut down. If you go and search right now on Forbes 2018 crypto crash, you'll see an article that says that 800 cryptocurrencies and the companies behind them were shut down in the first year of the crash, right? Then in the second year, which was in 2019, you'll see another article that says another 300 companies were shut down, or 300 cryptocurrencies were shut down, right? So out of 1,200, actually 1,100 died, right? Which is the bad news, right? But what is the good news? The good news, which keeps me motivated, which wakes me up every morning, is that the 100 that survived, those 100 today are the top 100 currencies of the world. They are the top 100 cryptocurrencies of the world, and all of them were able to change lives, right? Each of those 100 that survived through that extended bear market, which lasted from 2018 to 2020, these 100 cryptocurrencies were the ones that changed life, right? And we want to change lives. We want to bring in that disruption, both for the content industry, for the viewer, and for our token holders, right? And in order to change those lives, we need to have a sustainable business strategy. We can't be doing things just because of the fact that, we like to, right? We can't be listing on an exchange paying $1 million just because, right now some people want an immediate pump. No, we have to do what is sustainable. We have to go through the sustainable route. We need to make sure that we are able to survive in a bearish market which is underway. We need to make sure that we have a real business strategy which is scalable and sustainable at the same time. So the same $1 million, instead of wasting it into listing another exchange, which we don't know if it's gonna help us or not, we can invest the same $1 million into acquiring quality content. We can invest the same $1 million into creating a platform for the future. We can invest the same $1 million into enhancing our product. We can invest the same $1 million into bringing a sustainable user base on the platform, right? And that's how we need to think. We're not short of funds. We've got the funding. We've got strategic investors who back us, who believe in us, who believe in me, who believe in the team, the project, in the MContent brand and the vision. but we can't just be wasting money on gut feels, right? So it's all about having a sustainable business strategy. And that's why I feel right now is not the time to list on more exchanges. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, if money's not coming into the crypto market, it's not going into the exchange, it's not going into projects. Like, you guys should be wanting the best return on your investment for money we spend, because overall it's community money. So I think the right move is to wait till the market is in a better condition, and then make strategic moves from there.
So we want to be, just to conclude what I said, we want to make sure as a community, as a company, as individuals, as core team members, and all of you need to contribute to. Let's just make sure that the 100 that survived from the 2018 crash until 2020, I don't know what percentage that is, but if this is the new crypto winter, we just need to make sure that MContent is one of those projects that come out on the right side of things, right? Whether this crypto bear market is just 3 months long or 6 months long or 1 year, we don't know. Whatever it is, we need to make sure that we come out on the right side, right? And our business strategy needs to support that. Our strength of our community needs to support that. These ongoing burns need to support that. And if we are able to do that, we will obviously then make sure that we go down in history, right? What else?
Definitely. Let's see here. Thank you so much for explaining some of this to the community in layman's terms. This is a fantastic project, being driven by the perfect team.
App issues with Europe.
Oh yeah, someone said they have issues with Europe and the app.
Yeah.
Europe,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
European servers.
So I think again the tech team can answer this better, but from what I do understand that the cloud capacity servicing that we're taking from AWS, it's regionalized at this point in time, which means that we have paid a premium for certain markets, whereas considering that there is some re-architecture being done on the platform, there are some countries and regions where we haven't really paid up the scaling fees from a bandwidth perspective and the AWS perspective, which is why the experience is different in some markets. The experience now is, I think, really good in UAE. The app speed has really improved considering how it was before. And similarly, there are a few other strategic markets which are important to us from the perspective of our Series A, from the perspective of how our investment pipeline is looking like. We needed to make sure that at least in these markets we start delivering the optimum experience. But as I said, don't worry about this. We have already engaged one of the top global firms, which is undergoing now a 3-month exercise with us. And during this 3-month exercise, the platform is actually going to be looked at from a complete architectural perspective, which means that every issue that you see right now, all the features that should be there, from packaging to the features, to the functionality of the app, to the overall experience, you'll see a complete revamp. And what we will be building with them is going to be a much more scalable version of the platform, where we can have millions of concurrent viewers and still it would not disrupt the experience. That's where we're headed, and that we're headed for a global delivery in terms of that experience. So don't worry, it's just a small wait now, but soon we will be able to deliver that optimum experience. Also, by the time we deliver that optimum experience, we'll have more content. As I said, right now, even if I give you an app that works as fast as one of the best streaming apps out there, there's not enough content to watch, right? There is user-generated content, but it's basically content being uploaded by people, which is not captive, which is not going to capture your attention for very long, right? So we need to have quality content and we need to upgrade the app. So both of these things are happening in parallel. We do understand that this is our weakness, this is our core weakness right now, and we're already working on it.
I saw one question that says, let me scroll down. Also, the necessity of registering oneself before watching is also a drive-away factor. There should be ability to watch anyways, and then advertising the fact that after registration, earning is. Actually, the only thing you can't watch without registering is M-Originals. You can watch M-Browse, everything else without registering.
So when available on Smart TV, yes, with the 3-month exercise that I'm talking about, which is the revamp, the architectural revamp, and all the new features that are coming in, including the live functionality, and we are also working on the smart TV application within the same period. So the same team that is going to deliver the new solution is also going to deliver us the smart TV app. I think this is a very important one from Sumesh. This is what I really want to hear, by the way. There are two kinds of people now in MContent. One who wants the price to go up, right? Second, who wants the community and the utility to grow worldwide. MContent army, right? And this is so beautiful. I mean, like, exactly. See, it's not about money. I just managed to burn more than 90% of my tokens, right? And there is no one who has put more effort into the project than me, right? It's not about money. Trust me, life will always give you opportunities to make money. They will always come and go. You will have hundreds of other opportunities to make money. but the opportunity to be a part of something that changes the way life is for us today is rare, you know. And the people who really gonna get through this journey, will be with us till the end of this journey and reap the real rewards of this journey, are ones who are in it for the vision, are ones who are in it for the disruption, are ones who are in it to make sure that that dream happens, right? They're not in it to make the money, they're in it for the dream, right? So I was speaking at a conference in London about content funding, and you know, after my speech there were lots of people, although I mean I was the least experienced probably when it comes to the content industry. Some of them had like 25 years of experience in content, some had 30, some had 20, huge production houses, you know, all the big European, American production houses were there. But as soon as the speech and my session on the panel ended, there were like 30 people who were waiting to meet me because they wanted to meet me. I don't know what I said, but there were lots of people who wanted to have a session with me, right? And one of the people who came to me, he was like, I just want to ask you something. He was like, you know, I heard what you said and I was absolutely in love with what you were saying. But this idea is so easy. It's so easy to catch that what if someone else catches it and delivers it better than you, and someone else benefits from it, right? How are you going to feel about it? Because you're the one who has come up with it, and you're the one who's explained it so well, and you're the one who's even creating the architecture of how it's going to work. And I told him I'm not doing it for any personal gain. I don't care, right? So for me, my biggest happiness is not me being the beneficiary. If we can build this ecosystem, my objective is not for MContent to be the biggest beneficiary. My intention is basically to create that base for the disruption, which means that if this happens, if this ecosystem works, obviously MContent will be a beneficiary because we're one of the first of the people who are doing it. We're one of the first company that has brought this revolution, and we will always be remembered. It doesn't necessarily mean that I will be a beneficiary, right? Because for me, the most important thing is to make sure that we democratize, we liberate this industry, we create opportunities for thousands of creators, we create opportunities for millions of viewers and token holders to become content owners. We built this watch to earn revolution, and we lay the foundation for the next generation of content, right? And that's important to us. That's success, because the opportunity to create history is the most important one. You know, the financial opportunity in the middle of it is not important. At least for me, it's not important. And I think a lot of you have already started thinking like that, and we need more like you who understand the essence, who understand the value of being a part of something which is going to revolutionize an entire industry. And yes, it's not about individual titles, it's not about individual success. I've been saying this for, I think the first time, or the first AMA that I did when we even started this project, someone asked me, are you going to be the CEO once you do get institutional funding? This is like way before we even had an institution behind it. And I told people that we're going to go and we're going to get funding from institutions. Some people believed us, some didn't. The ones that believed us obviously got the benefit, and then eventually we did get the institution. But this guy, in the very first AMA, he asked me that, if you get the institutional funding and if we start working on this idea, will you be the CEO of the company? I was like, yes, I will be, until such time that I am the best guy to do it. But the moment that I find someone who can be better than me to deliver, I will get that person to replace me. I will become anything. I will take another title within the company. I'm even ready to be called the spokesperson. I'm ready to be called the T-boy within the organization. I don't care. For me, the most important thing is not my individual benefit, my individual title, what I get out of this. My biggest satisfaction, my greatest happiness is to make this project successful and to make sure that this project contributes to the disruption in the industry, which is going to change thousands of lives, and in the future it's going to change millions of lives. That is my objective. That is what I want out of it, right? And the moment all of you start thinking like that, there's nothing that can stop us from achieving our dream. So all of us need to think like that. It's not about us as an individual. I know everyone right now with the burn, a lot of you have been thinking like, oh, what if I burn? What if the other guy doesn't burn? What if I give benefit? And this is a lot of people. I'm not saying that's wrong, because a few people that are really close to me are also thinking like that. They're not saying it, but I can read their minds. I think I'm pretty good with human psychology, so I can read the people who thinking like that, even though they're not saying it, because they see how passionate I am about the burn, so they're not saying it on my face, but I can read it. And it's okay to think that way. But remember, it's about putting the vision above financial benefits. The moment you do that, you will actually also get the financial benefit. You have to. The greatest success has always been achieved in this world by people who follow a vision, who have a broader cause that they follow. They follow something that is to be delivered to the community, and once they're able to deliver that, financial success will follow, right? But if your objective is financial success, then you will never be a part of something great. You try and do something great, and financial success will come. That's the mindset that we need to change, and all of us, if we can change that mindset, if we can be as passionate about this burn like some of you are, there is, as I said, there's no stopping MContent.
That's amazing. I see some other questions. One is about exchanges again, buying tokens in India. Let's see here.
Okay. We lose a lot of money while transferring from one wallet to another wallet. Yes, you do, but again, one of the interesting things, again, I actually found out about it today, is that when you transfer from one wallet to another, the amount that you're losing is actually not going anywhere, because we even track whether that's going. So somehow the smart contract works in a way that the tax that is being charged is being lost. It's not showing in the burn wallet, but in a way what you're being taxed is being burned, right? So don't worry. Yes, you're losing that amount from your wallet, but it's not going to anyone else. It's just, in a way, it's being reduced from the overall supply, which means the circulating supply is reducing with every transaction that's happening. And yes, just to answer your question also, if you do a transfer from a CX to a CX, which means, for example, if you move your tokens from Huobi to Bitmart or from Bitmart to Huobi, you will not be taxed, right? But when you do it from a DEX wallet to a DEX wallet, or from a DEX wallet to a CX wallet, that's where you get charged. But don't worry about it. Even if you get charged, it doesn't really matter, because it's not going to anyone else. It's becoming more of a contribution to the growth of this community and this token, because that supply is being eliminated from the circulating supply.
Yeah, I see some questions. Frankie just posted in the chat the address for the dead wallet.
Yep.
If you guys are interested in burning tokens, you send the tokens to this wallet address as a transfer. Anything you send to this wallet address can't be recovered, so be very careful about the amount you send, because us as a project, as a company, aren't liable for what you send there.
The last few burns that have happened ran 157 billion tokens, 180 billion tokens, 1.8 trillion tokens.
Wow.
543 billion tokens, 60 billion tokens, 46 trillion tokens. Well, that's me. 100 billion tokens. 270. And again, as I said, they're not showing the full amount here because that 12% or 10% is not being shown here. That's also being burnt in a way, because that's the sacrifice that we're making, right? 270 billion tokens. Wow. 90 million, even 90 million, you know. As I said, amounts don't matter. 1.2 trillion tokens. 18 billion tokens. Wow. You guys are amazing. I mean, like, honestly, this is incredible. Then someone did 450 billion, another 450 billion. It's great. I think now the overall supply sitting in the dead wallet, what percentage is it? 41%, almost 41%, 40.9.
Wow.
So we were at 39%.
11.4 billion.
So the total value of the burn is almost $12 million.
That's amazing.
That is incredible.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah.
So
let's take a couple minutes if you guys have any other questions.
Let's
before we
take
wrap
a couple
everything
of
up.
minutes to all burn. All of you go and burn, right? Put some more tokens in their wallet, right? Make everyone around you realize what's happening. People need to look at this community and take a lesson from this community. This needs to be the strongest community in the Web3 space. This is your time, you know. This is your opportunity. Make sure you don't regret this opportunity tomorrow. Do that sacrifice. The moment you sacrifice for something is where that thing becomes great, right? So do that sacrifice. And we will make sure, as I said, we will make sure that we reward the ones. There are some things that I'm not sharing with you right now. Some of the team members have an idea, but we're not going to reveal anything at this point in time. But remember, the people who are participating in the burn financially, for every dollar that they're burning, we have an incredible plan in the coming few months whereby they're going to make a lot more, and there are some benefits that they're going to get. I'm not going to share details. Are going to be much more than the sacrifice that they're making. And yes, I cannot share more details with you, but the fact that I have burned more than 90% of my tokens should tell you how valuable that opportunity is. So if you have your faith in us, if you have your trust in us, just copy that burn wallet address right now from the chat and send as many of your tokens as you can into that burn wallet without thinking twice, because you need to be sure about the fact that the team that you're trusting is on your side, right? And we will make sure that the sacrifice that you're making will be rewarded. In terms of the community, all of you will be rewarded, but the ones who are contributing to the burns will also be rewarded financially. And we have an entire plan to make sure that happens. And for every dollar that you're burning today, you will get something tomorrow. I cannot share more details, but yes, do believe in us when we say that we will make sure that the ones who are burning, being selfless right now and not thinking about those who are not burning, are going to be the beneficiaries. The ones who are not burning right now, thinking that I will take the benefit of the others burning, yes, you can do it in the short term, but in the long run, I can tell you that the ones that are burning and who are burning a sufficient portion of their holding right now, like myself, are the ones who are going to be rewarded in this project, are the ones who will go down in history, and are the ones who will also get the financial benefit here. Because I know a lot of you are thinking about the financial benefits, so let me tell you that you even get financial benefits by burning. You're not just sacrificing. Yes, you are sacrificing, but you will be getting something in return. So put your faith in us, put your complete faith in us, and burn your tokens wholeheartedly. Don't think about what's going to happen, why the other person is still holding, why are they not burning, should I burn, should I not burn? No. Listen to your heart. If your heart is telling you right now this is a project that you believe in, you want to contribute to its success, do it now. We will make sure that we contribute to your success.
I see one more question. So is the burn wallet receiving additionally parts of transaction tax with every buy and sell apart from the burn tax? No. If you're new to the project, and you're unaware, we will have future burns based off of the revenue generated from content. Based on just buy and sell, nothing goes into the burn wallet. So what you're seeing there is from funding content and the community team, private investors burning themselves, which I think is amazing.
Cool. So, anything else that's important here?
I think that's good. I just want to say thank you guys for being a part of this. Thank you guys for being a part of the community burn. The window to burn and be rewarded is still going to be open for another 48 hours or so. So you guys still have a chance.
Yeah, you still have another 48 hours to contribute to the burn, after which then we will stop tracking and we will stop counting. And then the rewards that we've talked about will not be applicable, but in the next 48 hours you still have time. You've already seen the amounts that have been burned by the team, by myself, by a lot of the passionate community members out there. They have taken the right decision. Make sure you also come on the right side of the table here, and you still have time. You have 48 hours to arrange your burn, get your wallets ready. You have the burn wallet that has already been announced in the group. You've seen videos of how our different core team members, some of our key investors, have sent out their shout outs committing to their burn for the project, and all of them have given their long-term commitment to the project. And this is your opportunity to give your long-term commitment to the project, to give this sacrifice. And as I said, this is not a one-way sacrifice, because we are making sure we're working on a plan right now, details of which are not shared at this point in time, but we're working on a plan right now which is going to make sure that the ones who are burning right now for the community are going to be the beneficiaries, and the ones who are not burning will not be the beneficiaries. They will obviously be the beneficiaries on MContent, because hopefully our token price is going to go up, and we are going to keep building this ecosystem, as you know. However, there are some strategic benefits also that we're working on, which will only be going to individuals and community members who are participating wholeheartedly in the burn, and the benefits that they're going to get are going to be pro-rata based on what their investment into the burn wallet is. So treat it like an investment. It is a sacrifice, yes, the burn, but treat it like an investment, because we'll make sure that it is an investment. It's a highly rewarding investment that you're making.
Just to touch on one last question, if you send multiple burns today, will you be rewarded for all of them? Yes. You will. So if you guys need help with burning, come to our Telegram chat. Our mods, our team will help you guys, walk you through it. I know there's a lot of new people in crypto, as there always is, so any questions we'll help you out with.
Awesome. So I think
that's it.
I think we call it a day. Until Ryan, you want to do something interesting for them? Maybe sing a song or.
No, it is. I'm not a good singer. No.
Frankie here is saying he wants to sing a song for everyone.
Yeah. Alright, everyone. Hey, I like my hair. I got a new haircut, so I hope you guys like it. I'm not a good singer though. We need some good singers.
Your haircut's very aerodynamic.
I know, just like my talent.
Thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate you. We'll catch you next time.
Sure, yeah. Anyone else who wants to sing for us? Okay, cool. You guys are all great, and especially the ones who've participated in the burn. We love everyone, but we love you more from today onwards. And hopefully, as I said, there's still 48 hours. Think about it. There's no pressure. But yes, make the right decision, because this is a decision that can really contribute to the growth of this project that you love, right? Take care of yourself, be well,